Hi guys, and welcome back to another video. So today we're going to cover the 22 bones of the skull, or the cranium that you need to know. So the skull and the cranium is the same thing. It's the most complex part of the human skeleton. It is part of the axial skeleton, and it consists of 22 bones and 7 associated elements. We break the skull down into 2 compartments: the facial skeleton, which comprises 14 bones, and also the calvaria, which comprises 8 bones. So the role of the skull is for protection of the brain. It's a site of muscle attachment, so a lot of muscles attached to the bones of the skull, different bones, and also for hematopoiesis, which is for blood cell production. Most of the bones in the cranium articulate with each other via fibrous joints known as sutures. There is also a synovial joint called the temporomandibular joint, which is very important for chewing. So if we start off with the sutures, this suture right here from the lateral aspect is called the squamosal suture. Then from the posterior angle, this is the lambdoid suture. This suture over here is the sagittal suture. And the suture up top there, that is from the looking down at the skull, is the coronal suture. Cool. And yeah, alright, so we'll start with the calvaria first. So 8 bones make up the calvaria. The 2 paired bones are the parietal bones on either side, and also the 2 temporal bones on either side. The frontal bone is right here at the front, and then the occipital bone. And the bones of the skull also correlate with the lobes of the brain, so that's why it's important to start off with this, so then you can just translate that over into the lobes, which is very beneficial to do. So alright, cool. Then we've also got the sphenoid bone, which is right in there. And its structure is like it's got a greater wing and a lesser wing. So it's got a really interesting look if you isolate that. So yeah, we'll cover that in another video. And then we've got the ethmoid bone as well, which is right next to it. So that's cool. So those bones cover the calvaria. Now for the facial bones, so the maxillary bone, or maxillary bones, singular is maxilla, as you can see here. And also the, let me just zoom in, the palatine bones. So there are 4 bones that make up what's known as the hard palate, the 2 maxilla, and the palatine bones. So 4 bones make up that, so that's pretty cool. And there are 2 nasal bones right here as well, one on the right and one on the left. There is also paired bones here, the inferior nasal concha, singular, conchae plural, left and right side. Also got the zygomatic bones, which again is paired. And there's also, where my mouse is hovering right here, this is known as the zygomatic process, but it's actually part of the temporal bone. So that's a bit tricky to get your head around, but that's alright. And as you can see, it's here again, so it's paired. Then we've also got the lacrimal bone, which is where you cry and stuff, but the gland is actually found roughly here where my mouse is. However, the bone is more medial. And then lastly, the mandible, which is also known as the jaw. And as we can see here, the temporomandibular joint is found right here in this structure right here. So yeah, Cool, that's about it. That covers the 22 bones of the skull. Thanks for watching, guys. Cheers.